Nintendo fan and gamer has been eagerly waiting for the brand new Nintendo Switch 2. This isn't just a rumor anymore. The console is real, and I'm here to walk you through everything you need to know, especially about the initial setup and the all-new user interface. If you just got your hands on the Switch 2 or are planning to get one soon, this video is going to be your complete guide to getting started, step by step, so you're not lost or confused when you power it on for the first time. Let's start at the very beginning. Powering on the console. When you switch on the Nintendo Switch 2 for the very first time, you're greeted by a fresh startup sound. It's subtle, futuristic, but at the same time nostalgic enough to remind you of the classic Switch days. The sound sets the perfect mood for what's to come. Once the console boots up, the first thing you'll do is select your language. For this walkthrough, I chose English, as it makes everything easier to follow for a wide audience. The language selection screen is simple and clear, with smooth scrolling to pick your preferred language. Next up is choosing your region. I picked Europe for this demo, but the system supports all major regions, just like the original Switch. While this step feels familiar, the interface has been refreshed with crisper animations and smoother transitions. You'll notice these little touches throughout the setup. Subtle, but very welcome. Now, here's an important point for those who want to set up their Switch 2 offline right out of the box. Unlike the original Switch, the new system requires a Day 1 firmware patch to unlock several core features. This means if you skip connecting to the internet during setup, you won't be able to access the Nintendo eShop, launch downloaded games, or use game sharing and the News tab. These features remain locked until the patch installs. So, if you're thinking of waiting before connecting your console online, be prepared for some limitations. It's definitely better to connect to Wi-Fi and get that update done as soon as possible for the full experience. Moving forward, you'll set your local time zone. I selected Moscow for this walkthrough, but you'll pick whatever suits your location. Accurate time is essential, especially for things like online multiplayer sessions and event scheduling. After that, there's an option for system transfer. If you're upgrading from the original Nintendo Switch, this step is for you. You can transfer your profiles, save data, and settings from your old Switch to the new one. The transfer can happen either through a USB-C cable connecting both devices or wirelessly over your local network. Keep in mind, for the transfer to work smoothly, both consoles need to be updated to the latest firmware versions. If you don't, have your old Switch nearby or prefer to skip the transfer, that's okay too. But if you want your saves and profiles, this step is a must. Once system transfer is done or skipped, it's time to pair your Joy-Cons. The new Switch 2. Joy-Cons feel more refined and sturdy compared to the first generation. During setup, the console walks you through how to detach and reattach them to get familiar with their feel and functionality. Nintendo has worked hard to improve the buttons and rails, and thankfully, Joy-Con drift seems to be less of an issue this time around. The new controllers just feel solid and ready for long gaming sessions. You'll also get the option to set up your Switch 2 with your TV. For this demo, I skipped it. But if you want, I can make a dedicated video showing how to connect the Switch 2 to a 4K TV with HDR support and maximize your gaming visuals on the big screen. Just let me know in the comments. Now, let's talk about the Switch 2 home menu. After completing the initial setup, pressing the home button takes you to the redesigned home screen. If you've used the original Switch, the new interface will feel familiar but polished. The menu layout is clean and the icons are still easy to find. Games, controllers, album, eShop, and settings, all arranged intuitively. What's really impressive is the display quality. The Switch 2 sports a bright, crisp, and vibrant screen. Colors pop in a way that makes gameplay visually stunning, whether you're handheld or docked. Depending on your model, you might have an LCD or OLED panel, both excellent for sharp visuals. However, since this is a fresh setup without the firmware update, several key features remain locked. For example, the Nintendo eShop is offline, so you can't buy or download games yet. The Nintendo Switch Online service is inaccessible, which means no online multiplayer or cloud saves. Features like game chat, sharing screenshots or videos, creating your Mii, or using Amiibo also require that update to work. That said, you still have access to basic settings and can explore the system's options, which is helpful to get comfortable before diving fully into online features. Diving deeper into the system settings, we find some nice improvements. Display options now include better auto brightness with improved sensitivity and smooth manual adjustments. The screen can get really bright, perfect for outdoor play on sunny days. Network and parental controls are still there, but neatly organized into better menus, making them easier to find and configure. Accessibility options have been beefed up, especially with full button remapping. This means you can customize control layouts to suit your preferences or needs, which is great for players requiring accessibility adaptations or just wanting a unique setup. Internal storage is quite generous. The Switch 2 comes with 232 GB of free space out of the box, much more than previous models. This allows you to store a good number of games, apps, and updates without immediately needing a micro SD card. The software management menus are also clearer, making it easier to manage game installs, data migration, and cloud sync with your Nintendo account. Audio-wise, the Switch 2 supports headphone-based 5.1 virtual surround sound, a big step up for immersive gaming. You can switch between stereo, surround sound, or system speaker output depending on your setup. There's even an option to mute audio automatically when headphones are unplugged. Plus, you can test the built-in mic directly from the settings menu, handy for troubleshooting or voice chat later on. One of the standout features for tech enthusiasts is the support for HDR and 4K video output. The Switch 2 can output HDR content, and you can toggle HDR settings either to always on or only for supported games. If you connect your Switch 2 to a compatible 4K TV, you'll enjoy games and apps in stunning 4K resolution. RGB range is set to automatic by default, but you can manually switch it to limited or full based on your preference or display requirements. Even more exciting is the 120Hz refresh rate support. Yes, 120 Hz for a Nintendo handheld hybrid is a huge deal. This means smoother animations and better responsiveness in games that support it. For users worried about OLED screen burn-in, there's a burn-in reduction mode, especially relevant if you have an OLED model of the Switch 2. Themes remain simple, with basic light and dark modes, but dynamic or custom themes aren't available yet. Notifications now include audio options to customize alerts. Auto sleep settings are more flexible, allowing different timeouts when you're in handheld mode versus docked mode, giving you better control over battery life and convenience. To sum it all up, the Nintendo Switch 2 setup experience is polished and familiar, but improved in every way. The new UI looks fantastic, the Joy-Cons feel better, and the screen and audio enhancements bring the system up to date with modern gaming demands. While some features remain locked until you apply the Day 1 patch, what you do get to explore is already impressive and a promising glimpse of the Switch 2's full potential. Thanks for sticking with me through this detailed walkthrough. If you're as excited as I am about the Switch 2, let me know which feature you're most looking forward to in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives, tutorials, and tech news. See you in the next video.